Happy Sunday, Seacrest families. What a week it has been. As you know, schools have been at the forefront of the national news. And while it's a fresh topic for our newspapers and major news outlets, we have been living and breathing plans for school reopening since early spring. And while we don't know what our limitations may be at the end of August, we do know that we are committed to making it work for our students and teachers and our families and community. The real challenge with launching the new school year amidst a pandemic is that everyone's feelings and perspectives are equally valid. As a parent, you want your child to benefit from a robust on-campus educational experience, the opportunity to interact with teachers and peers. That's why you chose Seacrest. But your number one priority is to keep your children safe. And both of those points are completely valid. As a teacher, you miss working with your students, living in your little family classroom and your bubble, and you miss your peers. But you also have your own concerns about personal health in your immediate family, and both those points are completely valid. As an administrator like myself, I want to keep our school community as safe as possible. But I also want to acknowledge that each day we spend away from school, students are missing those opportunities for in-person instruction, for growth, for social-emotional development, for experiences. And both of those things are really valid. The challenge around school reopening is there really is no perfect answer. So how do we get it as right as we possibly can? I think the way we do that is to make sure we have really strong safety protocols that protect students and teachers, that we stay current on the latest scientific research and consistently follow the updated guidelines from the CDC, the San Mateo County Health Department. We also need to continue to think really differently about how we maximize space, how we structure classrooms, how we leverage our talents and our human capital, and about how we can effectively reach our students and teach our students through distance learning. We realize there is no one-size-fits-all solution, and we are planning and are continuing to plan to create options for different students and different families as we look at the school year. If families prefer distance learning, that is an option that we will provide. If families prefer in-person school experience, and we have to acknowledge and realize that many families have jobs that don't actually offer them a practical alternative. They need to go to their jobs. They may be healthcare workers or first responders or lots of other professions, and they have to go into their job, and they need their children to be in their own safe and learning environment. And we want to provide that as an option as well. So where we are now, on Friday, the governor issued new guidelines for schools to follow if their county is on the watch list. So schools must move to distance learning if any of the following apply. Your county is on the monitoring list. Your county has been off the list for less than 14 days. There are cases of COVID-19 in multiple cohorts of your school. At least 5% of your students and staff have tested positive within the last 14 days. I should mention those are ors, not ands, all of those things. At this point, none of these things apply to Seacrest School or to San Mateo County schools. Now, this may change in the future, but at this point, we're going to move forward with our planning of having multiple options for students and families to access their learning, whether it's in person, on our campus, or from their homes. So here's kind of the next steps. We're committed to taking in each day's news, digesting it, pausing to reflect, and responding rather than react. As many of you know, our senior leadership team had this week off. This was the 1 week we were closed. this summer, and it was amazing for us to have the waves of the news happen and not be together to react, but actually hear it, let it settle in, really digest it, and come together towards the end of the week. We know this year is going to be a wild ride. We know it. If 2020 hasn't proven anything already, this is what it's proven. But riding that wave calmly is a top goal. Pausing, reflecting, making concrete but relatively flexible decisions that aren't reactionary is really a top goal for us. On Thursday evening, I was able to speak with a group of Seacrest parents that have volunteered their expertise to join a health and wellness committee that is going to also help guide us through this process. The call was inspiring and informative and affirming, and I feel so fortunate to have this amazing cross-section of parent professionals as part of our school community. There were so many moments on the call that I wish I was recording. Their perspectives, advice, really real, honest talk helped put me at ease as a school administrator and, frankly, as a parent and a person living through this pandemic. We're so lucky that they have agreed to offer a community panel discussion next Thursday evening at 8 p.m. What we want to request from you is questions that you may have about anything and everything that's on your mind. COVID, students, masks, washing our hands, going to the grocery store. These are top-notch experts in the medical field and in the health and wellness field that are working every day and risking their lives to be proactively keeping our community safe. And they've given their Thursday evening for us. So we're going to send a link below. Please click on it. Please put all of your questions in. They're anonymous, and it'll help really guide our discussion. In the meantime, I really encourage you to read this article that we linked below, How to Entertain Your Kids This Summer. Maybe don't. It was an article that was forwarded to me by a friend from the New York Times. And I have to say, it was an exhale for me as a parent that finds myself really relying on snacks and screens and bribery and talking through my teeth and angry eyes to get through some of these days while I'm home with my kids and navigating working at a new job. But it was really an important reminder to give myself grace, give yourself grace, and let go. Find the times throughout the day to exhale, hold your children tight, and remind your children and yourself how much love there is to give, and take those communal deep breaths. That is what I have done this week, and that is what I encourage all of you to do this week. So with that, happy Sunday evening. Please fill out the questions below with your thoughts and your feelings. I know they're going to change. Mine are changing daily, hourly, by each news blurb that comes up on my phone. We're in it together, and I'm here for you, for your children, for this community, and we will see you on Thursday evening at 8 p.m. Thank you.